Alright guys, welcome to another how-to video, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to draw hands, and we're going to stick to the most basic of shapes and the most basic of forms. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing I want you guys to do is, remember how you used to draw a house in elementary school? Yeah, so we're drawing something like that, but not exactly.
Okay.
You're going to want to aim for something like this. So imagine that this is the roof right here and these are the walls on the sides, right? That's the same approach you're going to use when it comes to drawing hands. Just for example's sake, I'm going to illustrate a open palm drawing. So I want you guys to notice that this side here is longer than this side on the right over here. Now that was deliberate. That's a deliberate move. Why I did that was to help you understand that the fingers don't sit on the same plane of the palm. Okay, they don't sit on the same plane. Now if you've looked at your hand long enough, you should be able to tell where the thumb attaches and where the pinky attaches. Now I'm drawing a left hand here, and this side is going to be where the palm attaches. How did I know that? Well, if you look at your hand, you will notice that the pinky sits at the lower plane of the palm than the rest of the fingers. The pinky is somewhere here, and then we get the index finger and the middle finger. We get the pinky, the ring finger, middle finger, then the index finger. So before we get to draw the fingers, we want to establish the planes of the hand. The part of the hand that's lower is where the pinky is, and the part of the hand where it's highest is where the middle finger is, and where it's the second highest is where the index is. Where we attach the thumb, we will use a simple triangular shape like this one. That's the second step. First we draw the elementary school house, favoring one side over the other, and then we draw the triangular shape where the thumb will attach. That's the second step. Now the third step is, how do we draw fingers? Now, if you follow the trajectory of the fingers, you will notice that they all emerge from the same point of the hand, which is right at the wrist over here. That's why I put this marker here, so it shows more clearly. So when you're drawing fingers, you're going to want to extend guides that are coming from the middle of the wrist like that. So that guide, the first guide was for the index, now the middle, now the ring finger, and now the pinky. Then we go for the thumb. That's the first thing. So if you did this right, then hopefully your sketch will look like something like this. Now I'm going to draw an extended left hand. So you could draw the right hand if you want, and that's okay too. Now remember, simple forms. Before I draw the extended hand, here's another shape that I want you guys to incorporate. This weird shape you'll see up here is where the fingers will be. I've grouped it together so that it's easier. And then for the thumb, well, you know what a thumb looks like, right? This bump here poking out of this thumb-like figure is where the knuckle is. Okay. Now, speaking of knuckles, I want you guys to remember something. I want you to remember that the thumb has two knuckles. The first knuckle is where it extends from the palm. That's the first knuckle. And then the second knuckle extends just right below the fingernail. That's for the thumb. But when it comes to the fingers have 3 knuckles each. Okay? Well, because they're longer than the thumb, and so of course they will probably need more knuckles.
No shit.
But yes, the finger looks something like this. I will draw it from the side view. This is the bone inside the finger, and then I will just draw rectangular shapes. Right? If you want the deeper intricacies and the names of each and every muscle and tendon that's in the hand, then I'll probably have to make another video for that. Now I don't know every muscle and every name of each bone in the body. That's probably relieving for some of you, and that's probably, I don't know. I hope it's kind of relieving for everyone, simply because you don't need to know each and every muscle. You don't have to name each and every bone in the body for you to know how it works and what it looks like. You just have to grow the mental library. That's all you have to do. Just grow the mental library and you'll be safe. That's what I did. I couldn't memorize each and every bone and each and every muscle. I know some of you can do that. If you can and you want that type of accuracy, then go for it. Now, let's assume this is the middle of any finger. Just pick any finger besides the thumb. Pick any finger. This is the middle. This is where the thumb is, I'm assuming. I want you to remember this kind of shape. Why?
Because I said so?
Because this is a simple form. Again, we're sticking to simple forms so that it's easier to understand. And this will really be helpful if you just keep it in mind. This mattressy shape is thicker as you start moving towards the wrist. And it's thinner as you start going down to the fingertips. Why? At the palm region, we have more muscle. We have muscles and fats and tendons on this side of the hand. And then on this side, it's thinner down here when you start heading towards the fingernail, because there are no muscles here. It's just tendons and bone and some skin tissue. That's all that's down here. So this part is thicker. And so when you're drawing a hand, especially in the side view, you want the part that attaches to the wrist to be thicker than the part where the fingers are. Okay? The bottom part is thicker. Think of a bowling pin. In the side view, think of a bowling pin. Fingernail, the top part is thinner, the bottom part is wider. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, I want you guys to understand, even those that don't know how vanishing points work, and I will explain in a minute how vanishing points work, but hands have a vanishing point as well. Lies, 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 lies. Listen guys, listen. I don't know, maybe I was excited, maybe I don't know what's going on, but clearly there's a mistake here. See, when I said that the hands also work with perspective, that's a big no-no, because if the fingers work with perspective, then that means where the finger attaches to the palm, it would be smaller, and then as it goes towards the outside, it would be bigger, and our hands would look like something like and our hands would look like something like that. But that's not how it works. Obviously it isn't how it works. Obviously it isn't how it works. What I was trying to say was, when you follow the trajectory of the fingers towards the wrist, you will see that the fingers extend from the same point, and that point is at the center of the palm, the part of the palm that attaches to the wrist. That's where all the fingers emerge from, including the thumb. That's what I meant to say. Not really perspective, but more like perspective lines or perspective guides. That's how it works. Anyway, so I'll just fast forward the right there. Take a mental note. I want you guys to notice that the knuckles don't sit at the same position of the palm. Okay, the first knuckles, right where the fingers attach to the palm. And I want you guys to remember that the same rule applies to the rest of the knuckles and to the entirety of the fingers, down to the fingertips. They are not all the same height or length. Now, if that's the style you want to go for, you want to draw something with the same length, then this will work for you. This is okay. Okay, if it's what you're going for deliberately, then this is cool. But for people that want to draw something closest to reality, then this will be a very helpful tip.
There's no point in wondering where your pockets are. Tasting smooth, creamy milk, chocolate center. You're in an M, it's alright. There's no sense in wondering where your
The fingers don't originate from the same knuckle, so you want that space in between every finger.
Oh, hell no! Out of pocket for that shit. Way out.
Obeying without it bending to the power of the vanishing point in some way, shape, or form. Probably the most important reasons why it is primal to learn how to draw hands And one that I can think of very clearly, one that stands out the most, is that we are to draw hands to further explain thoughts of the subject. And then imagine you were walking up to someone with a gun and then showed you their palms, like fingers spread out clearly. What does that convey to you? They're trying to communicate to me that they're not armed, they don't want things to go south. That's what they're trying to convey. And so what better way to convey some of these ideas with clear and organic looking illustrations of the hands? Now granted, the hands are limited, okay? They can't convey everything. That's why we need a mouth and we have shoulders. Last tip that you've been waiting for, the golden tip. How do you make your hands more organic? I want you guys to put bends against straights. The bends on straights, I use that everywhere and it makes the hands look so much better. I know this thumb looks, just ignore it for now, okay? There were sketches, guys, there were sketches. Give me a break.
No!
Now bends on straights. What does that look like? I want you guys to look at the knuckles here, right? This knuckle is a bend, but I put that knuckle up against the straight of the middle finger, okay? And then the bend of the middle finger went up against the straight of the ring finger, okay? And then the went up against the straight of the middle finger, and then the bend, the straight of the ring finger, and then the bend of the ring finger went up against the straight of the pinky. Trust me, incorporate these two methods and your hand skills will be bumped up to like 5,000. But anyway, I'll check you guys out on the next one.